Welcome to Live, life-inspired views for every day. My name is Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul. I have 2 questions to ask God when I die. Note the order. Number 1, why did you make it so hard for women to lose weight? Number 2, why did we learn the greatest lessons in life through adversity or challenges? I know the first one seems silly, but as I was thinking about it this week, I realized how much of our soul's peace we give away to those things that shouldn't matter, or how much unnecessary room we provide for them in our mind. My friend Jean Buckingham reminded me of something Richard Rohr wrote that gives pretty wise perspective. He quoted a line from Leonard Cohen's song Anthem, and it goes like this: "There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in." Well, then Richard Rohr went on to explain how it's important to remember the beauty of cracks. Well, for me, some of them might be imperfect podcast recordings, a tummy that no longer looks flat, a desk too full of mini to-do piles. Well, Richard Rohr says, "It reminds me that our imperfections are not inadequacies. They are reminders that we're all in this together, imperfectly, but together." And isn't that a good reminder when we try to control and make things perfect? Well, there's a Chinese tale about an old woman who had 2 large pots which hung on the ends of a pole over her shoulder. One pot had a crack in it, while the other pot was perfect. After the long walk from getting water and bringing it back to the house, the cracked pot always arrived only half full. The perfect pot was proud of its accomplishments, while the cracked pot was ashamed of its imperfections. The woman daily brought the pots of water home from the stream, and after 2 years the cracked pot spoke to the woman and shared its shame for only bringing 1/2 of a pot of water home every day. The woman smiled and asked, "Did you notice the flowers on your side of the path, but not on the other pot side?" "Well, that's because I've always known of your flaw. So I planted flower seeds on your side of the path, and every day while we walked back, you watered them. I have been able to decorate my table with those lovely flowers." We each have our own flaws, and I guess maybe it's the cracks and flaws that make our lives together so interesting and meaningful. Just as we reframed the word busy last week by substituting the word living, how should we reframe the flaws in ourselves that we give too much time and energy to worrying about, excusing, or hiding from? Most of us fall into the trap of thinking that our flaws will cause others to think less of us. Before we had children, my husband and I took a parenting class called Parent Effectiveness Training. I learned a line that has helped me so many times along the way. Tuck this in your toolbox. Who owns the problem? Well, we often focus our flaws or inadequacies in comparison to others, so much that we lose the joy in the moment, in the relationship, or in the event. Reflect for a moment and pull together those things about you that you ruminate over. When you apply that magic line, "Who owns the problem?" are you able to reframe it? Are you able to reduce it to something that really doesn't or shouldn't matter that much? When it comes to our flaws, it's so important to give ourselves grace. Grace is freedom to accept ourselves, treasuring the cracks that make us who we are, instead of always ruining them, wishing they would disappear or that we would be more like someone else. As Leonard Cohen wisely sang, "There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in." Or maybe through the crack of our uniqueness, we can give light to others in the form of joy, relationship, love. Our cracks can be used for goodness, like watering flowers on a path or connecting with someone because we are real. So this week, write a note that says, "I accept that I'm a crackpot. And if someone rejects me because I am, then who owns the problem?" Put that on your bathroom mirror. Lift your head and love yourself. Join me next week for Live, life-inspired views for every day. I'm Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul.